All right. Yesterday, I whacked off to anime titties. Not necessarily like hentai stuff. It was just animated women moving, bouncing, going around. I just kind of want to elaborate more on what I mean. So it all started, I want to say around 8 or 9 p.m. One of my friends he was telling me about these animes where apparently they're all fan service. And it had never been something I was too interested in. If I'm gonna watch something, I actually don't like fan service. I prefer actually watching something with a good plot and all that. I don't just want to see anime breast bouncing in my face. But this particular day, I had the temptation, and I was like, yeah, it wouldn't kill me to look at some of these animes. So I was looking them up. One of them was like this dude got turned into a dog and his crush adopted him. And I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, there's some anime boobs, but it's weird. It's like bestiality. I don't know how I feel about getting bricked to a dog and his owner. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So then I started the worst place to go when you're down bad, Reddit. I went on Reddit. I was looking I said, what are some fan service animes? And of course, Reddit came running. They had all these names for them. Apparently, they're called ecchi or something like that. And I was just going through all of them. It started out just with that dog one my friend had told me about, and I was just going through all of them. You know, Apparently, High School of the Dead is pretty good. Actually, like it's genuinely pretty good, not just this fan service. But I saw that one. I saw this one about the whole plot of the anime was ludicrous. It was these two people, and they were just going around trying out different brothels. And the whole anime, it was just anime breast moving around, bouncing in your face, anime little, oh, whoa, like little moans. And of course, my neurons were activated. I was sitting there, I mouth open, drool coming out. I was just staring. Like I couldn't move. I couldn't I was the tabs were starting to open up. I couldn't move. I was just watching it like, damn, look at these anime boobs bouncing up and down. I was entranced. And then another one I saw, this kid got like fucked up. He was getting tortured, molested, and all this shit. It was like super dark, but then he becomes like a king and he just starts fucking the people that were fucking him up. And it was just crazy to me. They were like, they had to, it was ridiculous. But, I was sitting there, I was bricked up, and my mouth was open, my eyes were wide open. I was going, ooga, and I was bricked. I was fully chubbed. And from that, I started, I don't know what happened, but I looked up this old hentai little porn animation I'd seen. I looked it up. I was watching that, and then I saw the dude's his tag, his little porn tag. So I looked it up, and then I went on that. I started going through his entire file, just sitting there. And I'm just staring. I'm not fapping yet, but I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there. I'm watching it. I'm going through every single one, every single little tab, every single anime breast, all these. I'm off of the fan service. Right now I'm watching like full on animated breast moving around. So I'm watching them. And then after that, I just started watching actual hentai. And I lost all control. I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm just watching it. I was clicking tab. I found this porn game. I downloaded it while I was waiting for it to while I was waiting for it to download. I was watching these hentais, bro. And hentai animated animated porn in general is just ludicrous because no woman looks like this, These big ass breasts, these anime girls don't have big asses, but these big ass breasts, these dudes busting like buckets of cum, they're all, it's just like, oh no, don't give, it's just disgusting stuff, dude. Reflecting on it. But it's so good, it scratches all the itches in the brain. Like I'm gonna look more into it, I'm gonna try to find some studies, some books on it of people who have watched hentai. I don't know why it scratches so many itches, but and here's the weird thing, right? You have to have a certain level of porn experience, because if I had started watching hentai when I first started watching porn, I'd be disgusted. But you start watching the vanilla stuff, and then one day you're like, fuck it, let me watch a little hentai. Next thing you know, you're it's the only thing you watch. Obviously speaking for a friend, but it's like, damn, I just want to watch. I can't even watch normal girls, normal women anymore. It's like I have to see these animated breasts. I have to see them move around. I have to see them bounce. I have to see them clap. And it's the only thing that I can go to. But I'm sitting there. I'm jumping from hentai to hentai to hentai to hentai, and I'm in a public place, mind you. It's not obvious what I'm doing. I'm sitting back on this couch, but my laptop up, and I'm sitting there, mouth agape, eyes wide. But then I had a little bit of clarity. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta go back to my room," because then I'll stop watching it. I shut my laptop real quick, get on the elevator, go to my room. I get to my room, I pull it right back up. No self control whatsoever. I'm watching the anime breast bouncing around, um, and unfortunately, I've developed this talent where I can bust with little to no stimulation. So I've gotten very close to a no hand, no touch, no nothing orgasm, which is not good, which I'll explain later. But I'm just sitting there, really focusing. It is. I'm sitting there watching these animated. No, I'm not watching hentai anymore. I'm actually the porn game downloaded, so now I'm playing this porn game. I'm watching these animated breasts bounce, bounce, bounce up and down. She's making all these inhuman noises. I'm doing the shit. I'm really focusing on busting, and it's possible. It is possible to bust with no hands. I came very close. I'm sitting there. I'm focusing so hard, like my balls go inside my body, like like they retreated. They said, "All right, enough of this," and I was so close. Like I think if I had come back to it in a day or two, I definitely could have done it with no hands. But then I lost control. And this is what I mean, right? I can bust with little to no stimulation. So I put my balls on my desk and I just busted. Like that's all it took. I lowered myself to where my balls touched the desk, even despite them being inside my body. And then I just busted. I was like, damn. No, well, I didn't bust. I started to bust. And I was like, oh shit. That's when the clarity starts to kick in, actually. It's not really post nut clarity. It's really like intra nut clarity. Like while you're busting, you're like, oh my God, what have I been doing? So I'm like, fuck it. I start jacking off. And then I bust like in a second or two. And it's pretty big because I've been taking these supplements that make you bust bigger loads. And I got to say they work. But I'm looking at, my art piece and I'm like, damn, what have I done, bro? Why am I watching animated breasts bounce and move all different types of directions? And it's just not good. It's not good because real women don't really look like that. All these big breasts, like they're not real, bro. There's no woman with these giant breasts, small waist, Asian face, bro. She's not real. And I want to have more control. I don't want to be whacking off to animated breast in my 20s. Like it's getting ridiculous, man. When you're in your teens, even preteens, it's okay. Well, it's not okay, but it's like you're a kid, bro. Of course you're gonna be watching animated breasts move all around. But in my 20s, I'm just thinking like, damn, bro, I can't still be watching animated breasts bounce all types of fucking directions. But here the fuck I am watching animated breast bounce to the left, to the right, up, down, all fucking round. So yeah, man, I had a desire. I was sitting there, mouth agape. I succumbed to my desire. I had no choice but to do it, man. I I was so I bricked, man. The bust was ridiculous, but hopefully no more. You know, I don't want to be, at least not for a while. You know, I really want to be able to do whatever, the 90 days, but I get to around day, like when your testosterone peaks, and that's when I start to fail. They say after 7 days of no fap, your testosterone peaks around seven. It's around 7 days. Around that 5 to 8 day mark, I just lose all inhibition. Day one, day two, day three, day four, and then day five hits. And it's like, I get a thought. Oh, it would be nice if you looked at some anime breast. I'm like, what? Where did the thought come from? And I'm trying to find it. But then it's like, I forget I even thought it. Next thing you know, I'm alone in my room, anime breast. I got 20 tabs open, one tab per hentai, per fan service, per porn game. I got a porn game. I'm playing it. And then I got anime breast in my face. I'm trying to bust with no hands. It's like, damn, how did I get here? But yeah, I whacked off the anime breast.